Alright guys, sorry I'm not with you, but I am enjoying Washington DC, and I would like to go ahead and get started with today's lesson, which is writing the equations of parallel and perpendicular lines. Now, before we get started, there are a few things you have to know about parallel lines. So the first thing I want you to write down is parallel lines always have the same slope. That's number one. Alright. Number two, perpendicular lines, and this is the symbol for perpendicular, slopes are negative reciprocals. Alright, I'll give you an example. So if the slope of line 1 is equal to 3, the slope of the perpendicular line would be negative 1/3. Or let's say the slope of line 1 was negative 2/3. The slope of the perpendicular line would be 3/2. Alright, so that's the relationship between parallel lines have the same slope, perpendicular lines have the negative reciprocals. Alright, now let's get back to question number 1. Question number 1 says, write an equation in slope-intercept form, which is important. Alright, for the line that passes through the given point and is parallel. Alright, now what I want to do is I want to look over here and I want you to see that the slope of the line is equal to 1. Alright, since we're doing parallel, the slope of the parallel line would also equal 1. Alright, now we're going to use this point with this slope to write the equation. Alright, now we already have that format, which is point slope, which remember is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Alright, I definitely want you to do it this way. Alright, so now we're going to plug, remember, this is considered x1, this is considered y1. Alright, so now in order to write the equation, we're going to say y minus 2 equals 1 times x minus 3. Now, just to double check you, just to make sure you heard me correctly, this x1 is 3, that's going in for x1 here, y1 is 2, so that's going in for y1, and the slope is 1, and there you have it. Alright, so that would be good if they had asked us for point slope form, but they did not ask us for point slope, so we've got to convert that into, again, y equals mx plus b. So all we have to do here is distribute the 1. Y minus 2 equals x minus 3. Then we have to add 2 to both sides, and now we have y equals x minus 1. So again, that is the equation of our line that is parallel to this line, y equals x plus 5, and it passes through the point 3, 2. Alright, passes through that point. Alright, that's how simple. Alright, very, very easy. Alright, you have to understand parallel just means the same slope. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and jump to number 3 now. Alright, and now we would start out by saying the slope of the parallel line is equal to negative 3/4, and it's passing through the point of 4, negative 6. So then I want you to write down y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Alright, so we would have y plus 6 equals negative 3/4 times x minus 4. Now once again, if you notice, this 4 went in for this x over here, the negative 6 went in for the y1 here, which because it's double negatives gave it a positive. Slope negative 3/4 went in front here. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and write it in slope-intercept form, so that means we just have to distribute the negative 3/4. So let's go ahead and do that. So it would be y plus 6 equals negative 3/4 x plus 3. Right? Again, just for those guys who are worrying, negative 3/4 times negative 4. Remember that the 4's cancel, right? So you're just left with a negative times a negative, which is a positive, right? And then you end up doing what? Subtract 6, subtract 6. So y is equal to negative 3/4 x minus 3. Alright, so that's example number 2. Hopefully you feel pretty good about it. Again, keep in mind, if you look here, because it's parallel, this negative 3/4 is equal to this negative 3/4. They have the same slope. Alright, let's take a look at number 5 now. Alright, again, I think it's important that you write down the slope of the parallel line would have to be 4/3, and it is passing through the point 12, 3. Alright, let's write the equation y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Alright, again, this is x1, this is y1. Alright, now we're just substituting. So y minus 3 equals 4/3 times x minus 12. Now we're going to distribute the 4/3. Y minus 3 equals 4/3 x. Now again, 12 divided by 3 is 4, times 4 is 16. So that would be minus 16. Now you add 3 to both sides, so y equals 4/3 x minus 13. Alright, so that's question number 5. Alright, same process all the way through. Alright, now let's take a look at question number 7. Alright, now the problem with number 7 is we don't know what the slope is because it's not written in slope-intercept form. So remember you have to divide by 3. And so y equals 2/3 x minus 1. Remember, the only thing you need from this equation is the slope. Alright, and we just found out what the slope is, and the slope is what? 2/3. Alright, so now we have the slope of the parallel line is 2/3, and it passes through the point negative 3, 4. Alright, so from there, we're going to go ahead and write the equation. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So y minus 4 equals 2/3 times x plus 3. Alright? Now from there, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move off this side so we can see the work a little better. So let's do that. Put that right over here. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and distribute the 2/3. So we end up with y minus 4 equals 2/3 x plus 2. Again, I'm just going to say this one more time. The 3 divided by 3 is 1. 1 times 2 is that 2. Alright, now you add 4 to both sides. So y equals 2/3 x plus 6. That is the equation of the parallel line that passes through negative 3, 4. Alright? Alright, let's let the fun continue. Let's check out number 9. Alright, so the thing I have to find first is I have to find the slope of this line. Alright, so to find the slope of that line, I have to put it in y equals mx plus b format. Alright, so right now I have 5x is equal to 4y plus 1. 5x minus 1 equals 4y. Divide by 4. So I have y equals 5/4 x
Write a short character
minus
sketch
1/4.
of one of the main characters in your film. It's the red
Now,
shop here.
again, now we're in good shape because now we can tell what the slope of this line is. And the slope of that line is 5/4. So the slope of the parallel line would have to equal 5/4, passing through the point negative 8, 2. And again, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Alright, and now it's just a matter of plugging in. So y minus 2 equals 5/4 times x plus 8. Alright, distributing the 5/4, y minus 2 equals 5/4 x plus 10. Again, 8 divided by 4 is 2, 2 times 5 is 10. Alright, so our final equation, you're adding 2 to both sides, so y equals 5/4 x plus 12. Alright, that's not bad. Alright, Now let's take a look at number 11, the last odd problem. All right. So for the last odd problem again, here we don't know what the slope is, so I have to solve that for y. So 3y is equal to negative 4x plus 1 divided by 3. Y equals negative 4/3 x plus 1/3. Now what does that allow us? That gives us the slope. Okay. So now the slope of the parallel line is equal to negative 4/3, passing through the point negative 5, 6, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1, y minus 6 equals negative 4/3 times x plus 5. Alright, now right here we have some fraction issues, alright, because negative 4/3 times 5 doesn't go evenly, alright, but let's not be worried. Y minus 6 equals negative 4/3 x minus 20/3. Now remember, it's 20/3 because I just multiplied 4 times 5 is 20 and then divided by 3. Alright? Now, again, your final answer is to add 6. Alright, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to shrink this down over here a little bit. Alright, so I can get this out of the way so you can see my work. Alright, so I'm going to go back to that step. Y minus 6 equals negative 4/3 x minus 20/3. Now we're going to add 6 to both sides, right? Now, the key here, again, when you're adding fractions, is get a common denominator. So that's 6 over 1. That becomes 18/3. So y equals negative 4/3 x, and then it would be minus 2/3. Alright? So again, that is how you write the equation of a line, right, when the slopes or when the lines are parallel. Okay? So that's what we have now for 11. Alright, now let's go down and quickly talk about perpendicular. Alright, if you refer to your notes, slopes of perpendicular lines are negative reciprocals. So basically the process is all the same. Alright? It's all the same. Right? Now, in this particular problems, I'm going to change the directions because I want you to get practice on not only the slope-intercept, but I also want you to get practice in the point slope. So listen to me. All right, I want you to change, write the equation instead of slope-intercept. We're going to say in point slope form, all right, for questions 13, 15, and 17. All right, and then we're going to go standard form for 19, 21, and 23. All right, but we'll talk about that when we get there. All right, point slope is definitely easier, so here we go. All right, so listen carefully now. Here's the new topic. If the if the perpendicular, if we're trying to find the perpendicular line, right now the slope is negative 1/3, but the slope of the perpendicular line would then be negative 3. All right, I'm sorry, positive 3, because of the negative reciprocal. All right, so the slope of the perpendicular would be 3, because the reciprocal of negative 1/3 is 3. Then you change the sign. All right, and then we're passing through the point negative 2, comma negative 2. All right. So now you can write the equation in point slope form. Again, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1, and it's a matter of just plugging the numbers in, right? So we'd say y plus 2 equals 3 times x plus 2. And then again, that would be our answer. Right? That would be our answer. Because that is in point slope, and remember I changed the directions to say just write it in point slope form. Fairly easy. Right? Now let's look at 15. The problem with 15 is we don't know what the slope is because I have to move the 4x over. So y equals negative 4x plus 7. Now keep in mind the slope here would be considered negative 4 over 1. The reason why I'm telling you that is because when I say the slope of the perpendicular, want you to be able to tell me that the slope of the perpendicular would just be 1/4. All right? So again, opposite signs, reciprocal. All right? Now we're going to graph, or not we're going to graph, we're going to write the equation. So y1 or y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So we have y plus 3 equals 1/4 times x plus 4. All right, and again, that's all we need to do, all right, because you've written the line that's perpendicular to that line with that given slope. All right? So that's it. All right, let's try 17 now. All right, for 17, again, it's kind of annoying because we have to find the slope first, so let's do that. So x minus 2 equals 6y. Remember, I'm moving the 2, I'm moving the 6y. Now I'm dividing by 6. So we would say y is equal to 1/6 x minus, and 2/6 reduces to 1/3. But again, remember, this doesn't matter. All right, the only thing that matters is the slope, and the slope of that line is 1/6. So if the slope of that line is 1/6, we would say the slope of the perpendicular is -6. All right, now we're going to go ahead and put that in point slope form. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Now we're just replacing y minus 4 equals -6 times x minus 2. And again, that's the answer, because that is in point slope form. All right, so that's excellent. Very, very good. All right, now I said for 19, all right, on 19, I'm going to go ahead and say I want you to write that this time in standard form. All right, and standard form is your favorite, all right, because you have to get it in ax plus by equals c. All right, so again, I kind of changed up the direction, so I need you to pay attention because we just have to practice all three forms. All right, so the first thing we have to do is we have to find the slope. All right, so 7y equals -4x plus 6. Y equals -4/7x plus 6/7. And again, the only thing that matters is the slope is -4/7. All right, so let's come over here and give ourselves some room. So the slope of the perpendicular would be 7/4. And again, remember, that's the reciprocal change sign. All right, now again, remember, it's going through the point -4, +1. So now we can write the equation in point slope form first. So y minus 1 equals 7/4 times x plus 4. Now remember, we're going to standard form. In standard form, you're not allowed to have fractions. So I want you to take a look at this 4 down here, and now I need to get rid of it. So in order to get rid of it, I'm going to have to multiply both sides of the equation by 4. So I'm going to multiply this side of the equation by 4. I distribute, so that gives me 4y minus 4. But on this side, look what happens. These 4's cancel, and now you have to distribute the 7. So that becomes 7x plus 28. Now listen, I need you to really concentrate on that. All right, that's not an easy step, but those of you guys who are good with fractions, you understand. I'm just getting rid of the fraction by multiplying both sides by 4, and then I'm distributing the 7. All right, so from there now, I need x and y on the same side, but I need x to be positive, which means I'm going to bring the 4y over, and I'm going to move the 28 over. So I end up with -32 is equal to 7x minus 4y, or 7x minus 4y equals -32. Now that is the correct answer. All right, I want it written in standard form, these last 3. All right, so I got time for 21. So here we go. Same principle here. I want standard form, so I got to find the slope. All right, so let's find the slope real quick. And to find the slope, right, what I'm I'm going to do is solve for y. So I have 5y equals 2x plus 10. So y is equal to 2/5 x plus 2. Again, the only thing that matters is the 2/5. So we will say the slope of the perpendicular is equal to -5/2. And I'm passing through the point for -5. So writing the equation, y plus 5 equals -5/2 times x minus 4. Again, I have fraction, which is excellent practice, right? I need to get rid of the 2. So in order to get rid of the 2, I want to multiply both sides of the equation by 2, which will then eliminate. So I distribute the 2, right? And I end up with 2y plus 10, distributing the negative, -5x plus 20. Alright, now I want x and y on the same side, so I'm going to move the -5x over here and the +10 over here. So I end up with 5x plus 2y equals 10. And that, in fact, is your answer. Alright? Now let's check out 23. Alright? And in 23, again, we need to find the slope. So we're going to go with 3y is equal to -4x minus 6, dividing by 3, -4/3 x minus 2. All right. Now, the slope of the perpendicular would be the reciprocal change sign, 3/4, passing through -6, -5. All right. Now, what we're going to do is write the equation, y plus 5 equals 3/4 times x plus 6. Alright, same exact problem. Got to get rid of the fraction, multiply by 4, multiply by 4. When I do that, this crosses out, distributing the 4y plus 20 equals, equals 3x plus 18. Getting x and y on the same side with the x being positive would give me 3x minus 4y equals 2. Now remember, notice what I did. I moved the 4y over. When I move the 4y, it becomes negative. Right. And then when I move the 18 to the other side, that becomes negative. Right. So that's how I ended up with the plus 2. Alright? So again, I meant to put 3x minus 4y. Sorry about that. That's a little step right there. 3x minus 4y equals 2. Alright, and again, that's your equation written in standard form with perpendicular. Alright, so we have the line that's perpendicular to 4x plus 3y equals -6 that passes through the point -6. Alright, so now what I want you guys to do for homework tonight, alright, is to go back and do the evens. And then tomorrow, what I will do is I will have all the worked out even problems on the next video. So if you're still having a little bit of trouble, you'll have everything worked out. But please, please, please be good to your sub and also continue to work hard. Because again, writing the equations with lines is super important. You do that throughout your high school and college careers, always writing the equations with lines. Alright, so again, I miss you guys, and I will see you soon. Hopefully you're having a great day. Take care.
That's hard.